Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Vic Slang Hope. I got another live for y'all. You feel me? I know this one is gonna be a little triggering for a lot of y'all. A lot of y'all not ready. Like a lot of y'all not ready for this type of conversation. You get what I'm saying? You feel me? So I had to change the title real quick. The title was it's really gonna talk about the budget, right? But I'm gonna get into that anyway. The title is how you see, because the rhetoric is always the black man built America and the black man is the supreme this, the supreme that, and the stronger being. And we hear all of the good things we hear about black folks, right? And I'll be trying to figure out if you're so great, if we so great and the white man learned everything from us, then why is it that we can't infiltrate our own communities with relief? Why is it that, it seems like we still fighting a losing battle, right? I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. A lot of people don't want to talk about the realities of certain things. But anyway, I got a video clip that I want to show y'all from Malcolm X. And, a lot of times I look to what the elders were doing, right? Like I believe in you have to consult your elders. The elders are the ones who have the wisdom. They have the information. They have this intergenerational thing that you can grab, that you can grasp information from. And I think that's some of the problems today, right? Like a lot of us, we think we know it all. I think we think we got all the answers. We don't like to consult the people that came before us. But if you really think about it, nothing comes out of nowhere. Even knowledge itself is built upon information that already people put in the work for, right? Like even when you go to school, when you go to college, right, you're always learning about the father of psychology, the father of this, the father of sociology, the father of all these different sciences, right? Because you're adding knowledge to the information that that was here before kind of like put out there. So the same thing applies in our communities, right? So I like to look at videos from like people like Malcolm X, the Panther Party, Fidel Castro, other revolutionaries who were trying to fight for freedom, because I like to try to get a sense of what did they have to do to actually be free. What are some of the sacrifices? What are some of the ground work that they had to do so that we could be here today, even talking about revolution or trying to fight or trying to be free mentally, right? So I spend a lot of my time looking at some videos, reading books, and doing all these different things. So I'm gonna play out this Malcolm X clip, and then I'm gonna come back, and then I'm gonna have a commentary and kind of like break this down so we can get to the bottom of this. So I'm about to play this video. Bear with me. It's a 2-minute clip, but he's saying some real stuff, and I want to break that down.
If white immigrants can come to this country 50 years ago with nickels and dimes and no education, and come here and pool their little nickels and dimes and no education, and set up little stores, develop these stores into larger stores, develop this into an industry which creates job opportunities for whites. Since Lincoln was supposed to have freed the black man 100 years ago, and today the black man, according to the government economists, has spending power of $20 billion per year. We feel that with the black man spending $20 billion a year, not setting up any businesses, not creating any industry, not creating any job opportunities for his own kind, he's not in a moral position to point the finger today at the white man and tell the white man that he's discriminating against him for not giving him a job in factories that he himself set up. If the black man has $20 billion, and these so-called Negro leaders are such geniuses that they can integrate white restaurants and integrate white factories and force themselves into that which the white man has set up, they should use this same ingenuity to show the black people how to pool our wealth and set up something of our own. And then we won't have to force our way into his anymore. One more thing I would like to point out concerning what he said about 125th Street. We don't waste our time on 125th Street, but you can reach more people in the street who want to change than you can in the bourgeoisie society, the bourgeoisie church, and the bourgeoisie circles. Our program is directed toward the man in the street. So we spend our time in the street, and what we do with that man, instead of trying to change the white man in your mind, make you accept us, we change the mind of the black man and make him accept himself. And as soon as he accepts himself, he'll solve his own problem. He won't be trying to force himself into your factory and into your bedroom and into your kitchen.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate you copying the book, brother. I appreciate that. So I want to unpack some of the things that Malcolm X said, right? He said it because he said a few things. One of the things that he said was he spoke about how if white immigrants could come here with nickels and dimes, I don't even want to use the term white but if immigrants could come into this country with nickels and dimes and not enough money to their name, and they can build their little stores and they can build their little businesses and they can socially move upward, right? Socially, economically. He's basically saying, then why is it that the black man, mind you, this is Malcolm X talking in the 60s. This is in the 60s. We're in 2023 today. He's saying to them back then, when they had a $20 billion spending budget, he said, how is it that if immigrants could come into the country with nothing and build businesses and do what they do, how is it that our black people with a $20 billion spending budget that we can't even, we don't got no stores, we don't got no industries, we don't got half the stuff that these people get. Now, of course, you're gonna have some folks come in and say, well, the white man, this, the white, the deflection, right? The deflection away from the fact that we have poor spending habit. Today in America, black folks have a spending budget of $1.6 trillion. $1.6 trillion, right? Like, you can't point the finger at the white man. I know it feels good. I know, it's a way to deflect accountability for how you spend your money and what you spend your money on, right? Matter of fact, I even got I got another video. I got another video that I actually got to show y'all too. That I gotta actually add up here. But yeah, like it's like a lot of people love to make this excuse, right? We love to blame, we love to point the finger. Nobody likes to take accountability for the shit that they do. So he's saying, how is it that immigrants could come here and do that, right? And of course, a lot of us is going to say, oh, it's because white supremacy facilitates it. We're going to start to say a whole bunch of things. But you know what happens when you point the finger outward? You don't get to look at your own selves. You don't get to look at what role do you play in keeping yourself impoverished? What role do you play in keeping yourself in the detrimental situations that you are in? For example, let me give you an example. When you tell yourself that you can't do something, your brain, your subconscious mind registers that. And when you try to go do the thing that you already told your brain you can't do, it's not going to be able to do it. Okay, I don't know if y'all get where I'm coming from. For example, mathematics. There's a lot of people who hate math. I hate math. I don't like math. But you know what? The more you keep saying that to your brain, you know what happens? When you go take those math classes, a lot of times you don't expand your brain to be able to retain or take the information that you are given, because you already approached it from a negative standpoint, that you don't like what you're about to engage in. You don't like the math. So what happens is your brain sets up blockers and receptors that don't allow you to grasp the information. The same thing happens when you tell yourself, I can't do this. I can't build my neighborhood up. I can't get a bank loan. I can't get a house. I can't do certain things. Why? Because Whitey. Because of Whitey. But the reality is, like the brother Malcolm said, if my spending budget is $1.6 trillion, it's not that I don't got the money. It's not that I can't do it. The reality is, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to do something behind the scenes. The reality is, it's not that I can't do it. The reality is, I choose to spend my money somewhere else. And the longer we are in denial of that, the longer we're gonna have problems. Right? Hold on, I'm trying to bring up this video.
Hold on.
Hold on, I'm trying to. Hold on, I'm trying to bring this video up. Sorry, my bad. My bad. Hold on. Give me some time. I'm trying to show you this other video. From Dr. Umar. I should have probably been did this. This is kind of like some amateur stuff. I got y'all, man. I got the video. Yeah, so yeah, at some point we have to be realistic with our spending habits. So I want to play this other video for y'all. I'm sorry for that. That was my apologies. But I got this other video, right, that I want to show y'all.
Black people spend on average $2 billion a year on Air Jordan, $4 billion a year on liquor, $1 billion a year on fast food. You saw what just happened with Popeyes. $40 million dollars in a matter of hours.
Yes.
And we weren't even paid for that. Black women spend almost $20 billion a year on hair care and beauty products. But yet, there's not a black community in the United States I can go to where you can show me a black community that has all four of the essential institutions, which are a bank, a school, a supermarket, and a hospital. A bank to invest in the people, a supermarket to feed the people, a school to teach the people, and a hospital to save the people. How does a $2 trillion people, that's what we are, the richest group of Africans in the world, the 10th richest nation on the planet, there's only 9 groups of people who bring home more take-home pay than African Americans do. And we don't have an independent community. There's 2 reasons for that. Number 1, slavery destroyed our desire to control our destiny. That's number 1.
Yes.
And after slavery destroyed it, religion came in and glorified the fact that we wanted no control over our destiny by saying you need not.
Now, I don't really agree with what he said after that about religion being the reason. But I wanted to show y'all, I wanted to really just show y'all when he was talking about people spending $2 billion on Air Jordan, black people, $2 billion on Air Jordan, billions of dollars on liquor. You know, y'all love the Hennessy, right? Billions of dollars on liquor. And who knows how much money on weed, right? And other drugs, but liquor. He spoke about fast food, right? When the Popeyes chicken sandwich came out, he said $40 million or I don't know, the billions or whatever. But the money, the fast food. Then he spoke about the billions of dollars that black women spend on cosmetics. And let's not talk about the name brand, right? Let's not talk about the Gucci, Fendi, Prada that people would because they want to act as if they own something, right? iPhones, the phones that we chase, we just feel like we have to have the new phone. So we could go on and on about our poor spending habits, right? But our people, they got a bad habit of, you know what they're gonna say? They're not gonna sit there and say, you know what, I'm the problem. They're gonna say the white man is at fault. They're gonna say it's the white man's fault that they spend their money the way that they do because the white man didn't teach them the right way to spend money. Are they supposed to? How is it that on one token you can understand that the white man is so-called your enemy, but then you expect him to teach you how to do certain things to get you out of the state or the condition that you are in? That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense, right? So back to the spending thing, right? How is it that How is it that that's a fact? How is it that we are a 1 point? Make sure y'all like the video so it can circulate. Like the brother said, he said we are a $2 trillion people. He said we have the capabilities of shutting down any. You think if black women today stop buying all of these damn cosmetics that they buy, you think they wouldn't shut down the cosmetic industry? These little beauty supply stores in our neighborhoods. You think they wouldn't be shut down? You think they wouldn't shut that down if black women started to love themselves, and their hair and their regular lashes and all of those things? If they stop going to get their nails done, them pterodactyl nails that they be getting, if they stop doing that, I mean, you're still gonna need certain hair care products to take care of your hair, but you get the point. If they stop doing certain things, not just them, if the brothers did too, if we didn't feel like maybe, but it's connected to capitalism, right? Right? Black liberation and socialism. Black people are never going to be free under capitalism. Y'all think y'all are? Y'all think y'all gonna be able to establish some type of black capitalist caucus? You're not. Black people are never going to be free under capitalism. Capitalism is the same system that made you a slave. Slavery had nothing to do with skin color. It didn't. It was about profit. It was about capital. It was about money. It was about what slave can make us the most money. And the most durable slave out there is the African slave. And once you start to understand this, racism is not your problem. It's capitalism. Racism is a byproduct of capitalism. Without capitalism, racism doesn't even really matter, honestly, because it would just be prejudice. If you don't like me, right, because of my skin complexion or whatever, you just don't like me. Oh, well, there's some people I don't like. Oh, well. But when you combine that with capitalism, when you combine that with capital power, right, it could become something else, right? It becomes institutionalized. It becomes a whole nother juggernaut, right? But anyway, the point I'm trying to get at. So when our people run with this narrative of the black man is the supreme this, the supreme that, the black man told the white man all he knows, the black man XYZ. If the black man is so great, why can't we rebuild our communities? This is the question that I be asking people. If we are, don't give me no excuse, see, because the moment you say we are great, don't go back. Don't say, oh, well, the white man is suppressing us. Nah, if you great, homie, ain't nobody could stop you. Ain't nobody supposed to be suppressing you. Picture me being great, strong, and all of the things that we say we are, but yet the small man is beating me. The small man is outthinking me. The small man is subduing me. That doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense. So it's one or the other. Either I am the strongest, either I am all of those good things that we say, or I'm not, because I am not living up to that expectation. It's only one or the other. Which brings me back to, again, we have a 1.6 trillion spending budget. $1.6 trillion, but nobody takes accountability to what we spend our money on. I'm at fault too. I'm at fault too. I'm not sitting here just pointing a finger. I'm saying I got bad spending habits too. And I have to, in order for me to overcome this, I have to be realistic with myself. I have to be like, yo, Vic, you've been wilding with the money, bro. You've been wilding with the money, bro. I have to be realistic. If I'm not realistic about my poor spending habits, I'm never going to change them. And that's the problem with Black folks. We live in a capitalist country where we feel like we gotta have some. This is what they teach us. If you ain't got nothing to show for it, then you ain't really doing it. This is why a lot of people go out there on social media in front. A lot of people will be on social media with borrowed money, showing it like this, like, yeah, putting it like. A lot of artists do that. A lot of artists don't even really be having all that money, honestly. They be owing a lot of the bread. They be in these crazy contracts, but they are on social media acting as if, yeah, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. We do it too. We go on social media. Some people be buying clothes and take it back the next day. Come on, y'all know what I'm talking about. Some people purchase clothes, they wear it that one time, and then they take it back. And some other people, they keep it because in a capitalist society, you gotta have something to show. And you know what we do as Black folks? We don't buy assets, we buy liabilities. That's what we buy. We buy liabilities. We don't buy shit that's gonna make us money. We will go in debt for some shit that's gonna lose value tomorrow. That's what we do. We chase gooey. We chase gooey. We chase Gucci, Louis, Fendi, all of these name brands, so that people could look at us and say, look, he getting paper. A lot of people that got money, they don't even be wearing some of this shit. Honestly, a lot of people that got money don't even be wearing some of this shit. They be wearing simple clothes. They might have a Rollie that costs $1 million, or they might have, they might have something small, but most of their clothes be simple. Most of their clothes be simple. Money's on Jordan. You know how crazy Black people go for Jordans when a new pair of Jordans drop? Do you know how crazy Black people go for Jordans when a new Jordan? They just gotta have Jordans. We just gotta have the designer name brand. We just got to, because people gotta know that I'm getting to the bag. I'm getting to the chicken. Do you know how many people don't got credit? Black people will sit here and complain and say, they don't give us no loans. The banks don't let us get loans so we could buy a house, so we could do this. Why the fuck would I give you a loan if you don't got no credit? Answer me that. If you don't got no history, if I don't know you, let's just say it's me and you. Let's just say it's me and Terrell for the sake of the conversation. If I don't know Terrell from a hole in the wall, and Terrell pull up and be like, yo, Vic, let me borrow 10 G's. Let me borrow 10 G's, Vic. I don't know Terrell from a hole in the wall. Why would I just lend him the money on just good favor? Why would I lend Terrell 10 G's on good favor? I don't know Terrell. The banks is the same way. Why should they just lend you? Why should they just lend you $10,000 that they don't know you? You don't got no history of paying the money back that you borrow. They don't know you. You don't got no relationship history. Why should they lend you the money? But some Black folks will say, that's fucked up, man. They charge us this crazy interest. They do this, they do that. Nah, homie, you don't got no credit. I wouldn't trust your ass either if I never did no business with you. So you can't blame the banks. Work on your credit. When I try to tell certain people work on your shit, they be like, oh, I don't fuck with that credit shit. I don't. Listen, my credit limit right now is like $30,000, right? My credit limit, it's like $30,000. I worked on it. I realized, like, you know what? I need to get these credit cards. I need to play with this credit. So, and that's why I always say, as long as I got credit, I got money. I could literally go get a $50,000 loan. I could do that. A lot of us can't do that. But then we get mad. We say it's the bank's fault. Nah, it's your fault. It's your fault. Yep. Worship the approval of others. We worship the approval of others. We care too much about what other people think. So we don't even set the motion up in preparation for us to buy the house, to buy certain things. A lot of dudes, I tell dudes be doing this shit. A lot of dudes be getting their cars in women names. And then when they get into beef, when they get into problems, them chicks be taking them cars, or they be doing whatever funny shit they be doing. A lot of rappers don't got good credit. Little Baby said this in a song. He said that he don't got no credit. So you know what that means? He's still gonna get charged high interest rates. He's still gonna have to go through certain things. He's gonna go through certain issues. He even said, sometimes I gotta put some shit, certain people's name. You're an artist, homie. Even if you got millions of dollars, look, he still don't got good credit. But then we're gonna blame the system. We're gonna say they didn't teach us that. They're not supposed to teach us that. If they want us to be in servitude to them, why would they teach us how to get on top? Why would they teach us how to be self-sufficient? But then again, if we smarter than them like we claim, if we stronger than them like we claim, why would they need to teach us? Why would they need to teach us? You know what I'm saying? Facts. The Sonic boots. I don't even know how much them boots is. I don't even know. See, here comes the trolls. Sometimes I let the trolls ride. But anyway, sometimes, the point I was trying to say is, why would they teach us? Why would we expect them to teach us that we are smarter than them? If we built this, this is what I get into, right? Because this is my thoughts. My thoughts is this. Yes, black man was part of building the country, right? But it wasn't the black man's blueprint, right? If somebody made you do something, did you really do it because you wanted to do it? Did you do it because it was your blueprint, like it was your plan? Did you really? Because if it was our plan, if it was our blueprint, why we can't do it to our own neighborhoods today? Why we can't provide relief, right? We should be able to build our shit up from scratch. I'm not saying we can't do it. We can. I believe we can. But we will never get there if we keep spending our money, if we keep spending billions of dollars on Air Jordan, if we keep spending billions of dollars on liquor, marijuana, right? We spent billions of dollars on fast food. When the Popeye chicken sandwich came out, we went crazy. Black people was fighting over that shit. And you got the nerve. You're gonna blame the white man for that? This is why people don't change. Spend billions of dollars on cosmetics. We spend billions of dollars chasing iPhone. Yo, when a new iPhone dropped, they will literally let you purchase the phone for like $20 a month. People be paying that shit for years. And nothing will be wrong with their old phone, but they just want to chase the new phone because they want people to say, you the man, you the man, you the girl, old girl, you got the new iPhone, you got the new this, you got the new that. Come on, man. That shit is sickening. That we chase liabilities and then we complain that we don't got a pot to piss in. When some people get a little money, I've seen a lot of people do this. People get a little money, you know what they do? They say, I gotta go have that sports car, or I gotta go have a foreign. You know how many people get BMWs and can't afford the payments? You know how many people get Benzes and can't afford the payments? Or when their car break down, they gotta take it to the dealership and they don't want to go to the dealership because them dealerships don't play with you. Some of them foreign cars, you gotta go to the dealership. You can't even go to a regular mechanic. Here you go again, flying above your means. Could have got you a nice, regular, decent car. But no, you wanted to show off. You wanted to be like, nah, you want them to say, yo, son got that Beamer, son. You're making them crazy ass payments. Because a lot of these dudes don't got no goddamn credit. So you're not even getting no low rates. You're getting some high ass interest rates from that loan. Come on, let's be real. I'm saying, let's be real. Let's be real. Let's be real. We gotta be held accountable, man. When I be out there splurging my money, spending my money, at some point I have to sit my ass down and be like, you know what, Vic? You bugging the fuck out, homie. You bugging out. You can't keep spending your money like this. I can't blame nobody. I can't sit there and say, you know what's the white man for that I don't got no money management skills, because I'm never gonna change nothing. Malcolm X, another thing that he said, this is why we rather talk to the people on the street. See, the people on the street are the closest people to the struggle. You know, he said the people in the street are the people closest to the struggle, are the people who want to change. You know, Huey P. Newton said this too, right? When they was out there recruiting people, he said they wanted to recruit the people on the street, the people who are closest to the thing. There's a lot of people who just want to go to school. He said there's a lot of people who just want to be integrationists. They don't really care about the struggle. They want to be just like the white man. They want to be sitting at the table with the white man. They want the white man to let them hold the whip so they could whip some Negroes too, right? You got some of those people, especially like people at HBCUs. I never understood how you in a historical black college or universities, whatever, and you got Greek fraternities. Like, I never really understood that. See, because at the end of the day, black colleges is really white universities with black staff. That's really what it is. They don't produce people who change the overall condition of black people. They don't. And this is kind of like what Malcolm X was talking about. He said these Negro, like, look at the Negro leaders that are being produced, right? Look at the Negro leaders that are being produced. How come we can't figure it out? Look, the Malcolm X year, black people, let me, for the people that missed it, man, I might have to play it again.
If white immigrants can come to this country 50 years ago with nickels and dimes and no education, and come here and pool their little nickels and dimes and no education, and set up little stores, develop these stores into larger stores, develop this into an industry, which creates job opportunities for whites. Since Lincoln was supposed to have freed the black man 100 years ago, and today the black man, according to the government economist, has spending power of $20 billion per year. We feel that with the black man spending $20 billion a year, not setting up any businesses, not creating any industry, not creating any job opportunities for his own kind, he's not in a moral position to point the finger today at the white man and tell the white man that he's discriminating against him for not giving him a job in factories that he himself set up. If the black man has $20 billion, and these so-called Negro leaders are such geniuses that they can integrate white restaurants and integrate white factories and force themselves into that which the white man has set up, they should use this same ingenuity to show the black people how to pool our wealth and set up something of our own. And then we won't have to force our way into his anymore. One more thing I would like to point out concerning what he said about 125th Street. We don't waste our time on 125th Street, but you can reach more people in the street who want to change than you can in the bourgeoisie society, the bourgeoisie church, and the bourgeoisie circles. Our program is directed toward the man in the street. So we spend our time in the street, and what we do with that man, instead of trying to change the white man in your mind, make you accept us, we change the mind of the black man and make him accept himself. And as soon as he accepts himself, he'll solve his own problem. He won't be trying to force himself into your factory and into your bedroom and into your kitchen.
Yep. Hear what he said? A lot of people go to school. They go to school. You know how many people I met in college? And they just have this mindset of, we just got to join the system, brother. We just got to become more lawyers. We got to become more doctors. We got to infiltrate. What are you infiltrating? They could see what you look like. You know, when white people infiltrate black movements, you know what they do? They send somebody that look like us. This is the dumb shit that I don't understand from some of these black folks. What are you infiltrating? When white folks infiltrate black movements, they send somebody that look like me and you. But you think you're gonna go into their domain looking like me and you think you're gonna infiltrate? That shit is absurd. It's stupid. It's idiotic. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't work that way. It does not. You're gonna need white allies. You're gonna need people who look like them. That's gonna be able to go there. You're gonna need people like the Weathermen Underground in the '60s. Look who they are. Look them up. The Weathermen Underground. They were a white group of students. It was Socialist Democratic something. I forgot what it stands for. SDS. Socialist Democratic Students or something like that. But if you look them up, they were a white group of people, right? Who were fighting against, there was protesting against the war in Vietnam. But it was a lot of white allies. The Black Panther Party, they had a lot of white allies. Fred Hampton himself, he spoke about building a rainbow coalition, which is why they killed him, right? The dude had Mexicans, whites, all type of people at his rallies because he tried to show them that the real problem is capitalism. So the point of this is this. Like he said, a lot of times the people who are in the struggle, the people closest to the problems, right? It's the ones that don't. Like a lot of times, think about it. When you go to college, when you go to school, you get your little money, you move out the neighborhood you used to live in. It's almost like you forget what you went through because now you have this newfound success. You're no longer in the dire need for change anymore because you're like, you get to relax. You get to not hear the gunshots. You get to not get harassed or whatever. Maybe you still get a little harassed from time to time, but it's a different lifestyle. You don't have the urgency to do something to change your community like you once had. But when you're constantly living in the bottom of the bottom of the bottom, you have an urgency. You have an urgency to work. You have an urgency to you have this hatred of the condition that you're in. So the point I'm just trying to make with this, and this is why it's so hard. This is why a lot of us not going to go nowhere, because we're going to continue to spend our money on the wrong things. We're going to continue to chase Louis Vuitton, Gucci, no matter how much they disrespect the black folks, no matter how much they throw a little noose on the model neck from time to time, no matter how much they'll do a little blackface stuff trying to be funny, no matter how much they disrespect you, they still going to get your money. See, because black folks love that toxic relationship. They love that toxic relationship. They love, like, every once in a while they disrespect you. They'll call you monkey. They'll say some wild shit. And then they'll say, I'm sorry. We'll get angry for 2 days. And then we'll go back to buying their shit and kissing their ass. This is the mentality of black folks. It's sad. And what I get pissed off is that they turn around, and every single time they turn around and remove all excuse off of them. They'll remove all accountability off of them, and they'll say it's the white man's fault. How is it the white man's fault? We better than him. We taught him. They were savages in caves. This is the rhetoric, right? They were savages in caves. We taught them everything they know. We taught them how to bathe. We built this country. But we can't even provide relief to our own communities. Come on, man. And then when you say that to somebody, they always come back with they suppressing us, brother. Nah, homie, we stop fighting. As a kid, when you fall down, as a kid, right? When you first learning how to walk and you fall, you know what happens? You get back up. How many times as a baby? What up? What's good? What's good, brother? How many times as a baby have you fell and got back up? How many times? Right? You keep getting up. So you know what happened to us as a people? We stop getting up. Make sure y'all like the video circulate. We stop getting up. And when you tell black folks why we stop getting up, it's like, they come with all legs. Nah, we stopped fighting, homie. We stopped fighting. We gave up. There's a lot of brothers in prison today. Some are dead, but it's a lot of brothers in prison today. Anyway, like I was saying, we have to we have to you have brothers who gave up their life, who died, brothers who are in prison to this day, right? And what do we do with it? What do we do with our newfound freedom? We spit in their face. We spit in their face. We don't carry the torch. A lot of people sacrifice so that we could be in the positions that we are in today. We don't, like, it's a disgrace, man. It's a disrespect.
Black people spend on average $2 billion a year on Air Jordan, $4 billion a year on liquor, $1 billion a year on fast food. You saw what just happened with Popeyes. $40 million in a matter of hours.
Yes.
And we weren't even paid for that. Black women spend almost $20 billion a year on hair care and beauty products. But yet, there's not a black community in the United States I can go to where you can show me a black community that has all four of the essential institutions, which are a bank, a school, a supermarket, and a hospital. A bank to invest in the people, a supermarket to feed the people, a school to teach the people, and a hospital to save the people. How does a two...
It's crazy, man. Don't make no sense. Can't make this shit up. Until you build your own industries, until you build your own jobs, until you do what it is that you need to do, we're going to continue to be in this condition. We're going to continue to make excuses. We're going to continue to blame the man. You know, we're going to continue. Yup, they did. We do, brother. You got to understand, you know, how as it goes. The way it goes is like this, right? There's this thing called good debt and bad debt, right? What is good debt? Good debt is accumulating debt that makes you money, right? Like spending money on assets that's gonna make you money. You get what I'm saying? It's good debt. Like, for example, when you buy a house, right? Home ownership is one of the main things of that lead to wealth, right? Equity in the United States. So some people will consider that a good debt, right? It's gonna something that you could leave to your descendants, something that you know, some form of money. They could sell it. They, you know, you could do a lot of things when you buy properties, even if it is a commercial building, right? Of course, you get a bank loan and you do certain things. Let's say you get a car. You get a car. With the car, you can make money, right? You're gonna have to. A lot of people not just showing up to the bank, $30,000 here cash for the car, right? But you take out a loan, you get a car, and you can do a lot of things with the car. You can work with the car, you can make more money. It adds money to your pocket. That's good debt, right? Bad debt is some people will go into debt to get Louis Vuitton, right? Some people would put sneakers on payment plans. I didn't even know you could do that. I seen people put sneakers on payment plans. Like, I was on Foot Locker the other day. I was trying to get some sneakers, and they was like, "Oh, do you want to put this on the payment plan?" And I was like, "Oh, snap! You could put sneakers on the payment plan?" And then somebody was telling me like, "Hell yeah, mad people be doing that." And I was like, "Wow, they be putting sneakers on the payment plan? I didn't even know you could do that." People do that with phones. I seen people get the iPhone for $18 a month. They didn't need to get a new phone. Their old phone worked perfectly fine. I got friends who are engineers and who make a lot of money. Like, you know what I'm saying? They up there. And they will be having like an iPhone 7 or iPhone 6. They'll be having like an old ass phone. And that would be like their phone. And I'd be like, these dudes are making like six figures. And they got a regular ass old ass phone. They're not chasing the new phones. And I'd be like, and that's when you start to be like, yo, this shit is a mindset, man. But it's also the capitalist structure that we live in, but it's the mentality. A lot of people, like I said, the people who don't have assets, right? They tend to buy liabilities because they want to feel like they got something to show. So black people, we wanna feel like we got money. So what we do is we go get bottles at the club because we want to show people like, yeah, I got money. I bought the bar, or I bought a few bottles in the club, and the bottles be going for like $400. So I spent like $2,000 at the club. So yeah, he got money. You know, they see me in the Gucci, in the Louis, so they be like, oh, he got money. In the Amiri, right? Christian Dior. And who do they usually use to do this? The rappers. They use the rappers. They use the rappers to get us to buy all of this stuff. The Balenciaga, all these name brands, you notice they use rappers to persuade us to buy these stuff. They put a black face behind it, and we fall for it every single time. Every single time. The rappers know. We fall for it every single time. That's what I'm saying. Look, the brother telling y'all right there. He had an iPhone 6 for man long. A lot of these dudes, I know plenty of these dudes who got money. Regular ass phone. Shit, my phone be. Listen, like I said, I'll be on the same boat. I mean, I don't chase phones. You know what I'm saying? My other phone got, like I said, my phone got cracked. This is my other phone. My phone got kind of like cracked. So I got this phone. But I ain't been chasing no phone. I had this phone for, at the time I got it, it was the newest phone. But that was because my old phone got messed up. But I ain't chasing no phones. But it's a lot of people out here who chase phones. They chase sneakers. They chase bags. These women are chasing hair. They some of them think every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks or they investing in these wigs. And it's like, yo, where's the self-love? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy, yeah, brother. Like the brother said right here, he said he never knew. Well, now you know, brother. It's crazy the amount of things, man, that we choose to prioritize and spend our money on. And until we realize, like, you know what? I need to budget. I need to stop chasing some of these things. Or I need to stop worrying about what people think. Social media, man, social media got people in a frenzy. Attention. People want people to believe that they got it. It's sad, man. But like I said, how black people built America, but you can't build your own community. You don't got no unity. You spend your money on the wrong things. And then we're divided in a community. Some of us is saying, oh, nah, we just got to go to school. Do you know it's not enough jobs for everybody? Do you know that there's not enough jobs for everybody? There's not even enough housing for everybody. You know, a lot of people live with family. A lot of people live, especially in New York City. Most people are living with somebody. You either living with roommates or you living with family, right? It's not enough housing for everybody. They make you believe that there is, but it's not even enough jobs for everybody. That's just the truth. And they don't care because the reality is, okay, some people are going to make it and some people are not going to make it, and they are totally fine with that. They're totally fine with that. Yep. The brother's giving y'all some tips. Gold, buying gold. The brother said, somebody said, we're not taught. Why would you expect to be taught Why would you expect to be taught by people that don't like you? Thank you, man. Thank you, Kai. Appreciate it. And I hear this a lot of times. Like they said, we're not taught financial freedom in schools. But if we go into school, Malcolm X said this, right? He said only a fool will let his enemy teach his children or educate. He said only a fool will let his enemy educate his children. So if we saying that one, they're the enemy, and two, if one, they're the enemy, why would we expect them to teach us things that will make us get out of our condition? That don't make no sense. Excuse me. That don't make no sense. And then two, why would they need to teach us if we claim that we taught them everything they know? See, because I be hearing some black folks be talking about white people like white people don't. Like we taught them everything they know. We taught them how to bathe. We taught them how to do this. We taught them how to do X, Y, Z. So if we taught them everything, what do we need them to teach us for? What do we need them to teach us? And again, they have got us, you know, and again, I appreciate that. I appreciate the tip, brother. And again, they have gotten us to the position. They have gotten us to the position where we can't take no accountability. We can't take no accountability. You know how Jewish people started with the banking system? I was reading a story about the Rothschilds and how they started lending people money, right? They started just lending people money. Like it was like some small shit. It's almost like in jail they used to do this, right? When I was in prison, they used to do this. When people go to the store, let's say if I got honey buns, I bought honey buns. I'll give you a honey bun. They call it juggling. I give you a honey bun. When you come back, bring me back two, because you want it right now. So I got it right now. You want a honey bun? I give you the honey bun, but when you go to the store, you got to bring me back two. Right now, if I do that with a few people, there used to be people who didn't smoke cigarettes in jail, but they will have pouches. Like I ain't smoke cigarettes, but I'll have pouches. Right. So there used to be people who used to be like, they used to have cigarettes. And they'll like people wanted to smoke so bad. So they'll be like, okay, just give me the pouch. I give you back two. Right. This is not allowed in Islam, right? It's called riba, usury, right? But people, this is how a lot of people was building their stores. This is how a lot of people was, next thing you know, dudes will have like a whole locker full of food, whole locker full of cigarettes, whole locker full of a bunch of stuff. Because they was juggling. They would be like, yo, if I give you one of these, give me back two. Or some people will say, give me back. Somebody will say, give me back two, or they'll say, give me back three. So it all depends on how bad you wanted it. Now, this is how I was reading about how the Rothschilds, they kind of like started doing this, right? Lending people money. And they would just charge them a small fee for lending them money. Okay, boom, just give me back this much. And then to the point where they just kept doing this, they made it a family business. And then they made it into a bank, right? I forgot how much it costs if you want to go like, because I know Killer Mike and some other people, they created a black bank. I forgot how much, what's the process, right? I can't give you the information about the process, but I'm pretty sure it's out there, right? But this is just an example. You know, I was talking to some people. It was like I don't know if they was Indian or Chinese, right? But you know what they said? They were saying something about like, it's not that we don't want to hire our own people. I mean, it's not that we don't hire other people. It's that sometimes when we hire our own people, we pay them a lesser wage and put money to the side to buy another business. You hear that? Sacrifice. Some people sacrifice the wages, and a lot of the times these people live together. They'll all live under the same roof. It'll be like probably like 5, 6, 7 people, and they're patient. They're patient. They said we pay some of our workers less money so we could put money to the side so we can buy another business, and then they pass off the business to another family. You hear that? We ain't willing to do that shit. We willing to complain. Where my money at now? I want all my bread, son. Nah, fuck that. You know another thing. I said this in another video from examples. I seen this in Port Chester. Port Chester is a nice nice affluent town in Westchester County. If y'all from New York, you know about Westchester County, right? Mexicans was moving out there. You know what they was doing? They would buy a cheap house, broken down house, or as cheap as you could find it in the place. Because a lot of times these houses tend to be cheaper sometimes, right? They'll buy one of those houses. A lot of them had trades. Somebody was a plumber, somebody was a carpenter, somebody was a brick mason, somebody was a floorer, whatever, right? Roofing. A lot of them had different skills. They'll move into a house, fix it up together. They'll live there, and then they hustling, man. Put their money together, buy another house like that. They hustling. They hustling. They hustling, and they supporting each other. So until we figure out, like, yo, we're not gonna get nowhere. And of course, I'm not saying that there's not external influences that might play a role in the condition that we are in. What I'm saying is we're not going to get out of our condition if we just keep pointing the finger, right? I can't come home and beat my woman and then turn around I can't come home, beat my woman, and then turn around and say it's the white man fault why I go home and beat my wife because he didn't give me a job or because I was frustrated at work and then I went home and no, bro. Like it's some of the excuses that black folks make is crazy. Black folks say it's no jobs. Of course, it's not gonna be enough jobs for everybody. And at the same time, I know black folks who will say things like, I'm not going to work at Wendy's. I'm not going to work at McDonald's. I'm not going to clean toilets or mop and sweep floors. I'm not going to do certain jobs because I deserve better. But they ain't put in no work. They ain't even try to go to school. They ain't try to get a degree. They're not trying to get certificates. They're not trying to get a trade. They're not trying to put in no work. They just expect some shit to just land on their lap. But you know what they would do? They'll rob your mama. They'll rob your grandma. They'll scam somebody like, yo, just give me your social security, man. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I got you, man. I'm going to bust this move. Like, this is what they'd rather do. Some of them rather sell drugs to your auntie that's trying to kick off a habit, or maybe she's not trying to kick it off. But they'll rather do some other shit that's detrimental to the community or the people in it, robbing, scamming, selling drugs too, rather than getting a job. But they will blame the white man. You got people who gangbang, who will go pick up a gun and shoot somebody that look just like them. Not because they was protecting themselves. For other reasons, for neighborhood control, for drug control, for territory control. And you know what they say? Well, who gave us the guns? The white man put the gun in the neighborhood. Like, this shit is like, you can't make this shit up. Like, this is some of the shit that I hear from people. This is some of the shit that I hear from people. They never take accountability. 95% of the men in prison, they blame somebody else for them being in jail. Oh, the motherfucker snitched on me, man. Yo, the white man, if the white man didn't put me in the ghetto, man. If I ain't have a single mom, man. Like, they make so many excuses. That's why they don't change. That's why a lot of people don't change. Somebody said, do you think we have to go to civil war with each other to weed out the good from the bad? Because everyone can't go. That's a fact. This is what I always say. There's a difference between niggas and black people. I say this shit all the time. It's a difference. Hear me out. It's a difference between niggas and black people. And I don't mean niggas with the A, with the ER. It's a difference between niggers and black people. Total difference. Niggas is destructive, right? They don't do nothing good for the community. These are the degenerates. They scattering children all over the place, don't take care of them. They don't respect our women, the elders, other men, right? They don't do nothing for the community. These are the people that rather do crime than go get a job. They're not contributing anything to our community. And then there's the black people. There's the black people that go to work. There's the black people who are pillars in their community. They have respect. You know, they're part of the working class. They try to contribute something. They try to give back in some type of way. It's a total difference. The problem is we look alike. Niggas oftentimes be dressed like black folks. And the police can't even tell the difference sometimes. That's why regular black people sometimes get harassed because of the shit that the niggas be doing in the community. So to a certain extent, it's gonna take strong men, strong black men that are gonna have to step up to the plate and stand up to the niggas. There's no reason why women should be in our communities and they don't feel safe because there's niggas around. There's no reason why other men don't feel safe in our communities. Right? There's no reason. There's no reason why the elderly shouldn't feel safe. Like you hear the stories about these dudes robbing elderly people. You know how many stories I heard? Old people getting robbed. Like, come on, bro. That shit is unacceptable. But you know what? We choose to mind our business. A lot of people choose to mind our business. But the truth is this. A lot of black men are scared of the niggas. That's why they rather mind their business. They scared of these dudes. Because we don't produce men like we supposed to. So yeah, brother. I think something's gonna have to give. We're gonna have to shun them. Something. It don't necessarily gotta be a civil war, right? Sometimes we just gotta shun them. We gotta draw them out. We gotta start being there for our children. Because this is who the niggas recruit. The niggas go after the children that grow up in broken homes. They try to talk to your broken home children, your daughters, your sons. These is the people they recruit. And if they can keep recruiting, they keep their numbers up. But if we dry out they recruiting, right? If we raise strong children, strong men, women, strong daughters, right? If our women stop thinking they could do shit on their own and respect their man, right? And wouldn't have to take pride in not having the men around. And the men took responsibility and stuck around. And we rebuilt the structure of our families and raised our children. We can change the curve. It's gonna take a little time. If we prioritize what we spend our money on, if we stop trying to keep up with the Joneses, if we work on our credit, work on our nourishment, the things that we eat, that we put into our bodies, right? Educate ourselves about our history. Okay? If we took up trainings or some type of martial arts or went to the gun range, learned to shoot so that we can protect ourselves from some of the people that try to cause us harm. Right? It's a lot of things, man. I got a whole video on my YouTube about 10 solutions that black people could do right now. If you got land, you should plant your own food. Even if you don't got the land, you should at least know what to do if you did have land. Right? Take a little more time reading ingredients when you go to the supermarket. Stop just grabbing shit that you've been eating for decades. Change your diet, man. Your diet, what you eat, has a lot to do with your body, with what you feed your brain. You know, they got stuff that is called brain food. You got stuff that is called heart food. You got different things that help your body differently, but you wouldn't know because you don't know what to eat. You don't follow a nutritional guide. Get connected to God. I ain't gonna go too far to that because y'all hate God. This society is becoming a godless society. But you ain't gonna get too far. You ain't gonna get too far. Well, that's a fact too. He said we have to do like the president in El Salvador. That's a fact too. That is a fact. Man, he not playing with them boys. I'm so glad you said nourishment. Definitely nourishment, man. I tell people I have, like I said, I have a video on my YouTube channel that speaks about 10 solutions for black folks. If I could remember some of them, mental health treatment. I spoke about mental health treatment. Like you have to acknowledge that something is wrong with you. I spoke about mental health treatment. I spoke about learning our history, right? The history of your people, where your people come from. If you can't get that, then where was you? You know, if your grandma's still alive, go try to talk to your grandma. Get a little history, man. Consult with the elders. You know, we can learn to plant our own food. We can learn how to go to the gun range, shoot, or learn karate, jujitsu, something. You need to learn something. You need to be able to protect yourself. Something. You can't just keep depending on your man to be there. Sometimes your man not going to be around. You got to learn something, right? Got to learn something. Get a trade. Have a hand skill. Because when you got a skill with your hands, they can't take that from you. And you will graduate with less debt. You won't have a lot of debt. A lot of times you won't even have no debt, right? So there's a lot of things we can start doing. But it first starts with accountability. See, Malcolm X, yeah, he talked his shit about the white man. It's the vote from the president. We talking about Thomas Jefferson. The Quran, Thomas Jefferson Quran. That's what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, Mike. You might be talking about. You talking about the book I have that I posted before. Thomas Jefferson Qurans. Thomas Jefferson had 2 Qurans. He actually donated his library to, I think that's the Library in Congress. He donated his books. But what I was saying, yeah, food, nourishment. We're being poisoned by the food. A lot of the food they feed in our men has a lot of estrogen in it. You know, a lot of the food when I was in prison, they served us 70% soy, 30% meat. And it's proven that a lot of soy consumption leads to fertility issues. It gives a lot of men estrogen, and the women, it gives them a lot of estrogen, and that leads to rigorous cancers, because you're not supposed to have, even our women, right? Like our bodies were created in balance and proportion, right? So if you give a woman too much estrogen, it leads to cancers, like rigorous cancers. If you give a man too much estrogen, what he's not supposed to have, he start getting droopy titties. He start getting issues with his reproductive organs, and he start getting other issues, right? Even soy baby formula is a problem for our children. That's why our women should be breastfeeding. But you can't breastfeed if all you be drinking is Hennessy. I knew some mothers who couldn't wait to give their babies formula because they couldn't wait to smoke and drink, and they didn't want to breastfeed their children. That shit is crazy. That shit is crazy. And I get it. We might be at this condition that we are today because it was conditioning, because it was of the things that have been done to the people here. But it's on you, man. It's on you today to change what's going on. At some point, I know sometimes you be sitting on the side of your bed and you be like, yo, I ain't living right. Shit, I be doing that sometimes. So I know you do that. I know you be sitting on the side. Listen, man. If you don't get up sometimes in the morning and be like, yo, I gotta be better. If you don't do that, then you're not self-aware. Because even the people who are living good, even some of those people, they still have those feelings like, yo, I gotta do better. I gotta do better. I gotta do better. So yeah, the food is definitely a problem, the food that we eat. And sometimes people like talking about food deserts. I'm not really sold on the food desert stuff. Don't get me wrong. Yes, there is such thing as what's being sold in our communities, but guess what? They don't have designer stores in the hood, and people still manage to drive and go to the mall and go wherever they need to go get the designer stuff. They don't make an excuse. You could also order food online nowadays, depending on where you at. I know in New York, you could order. You they got the Instacart. You can order groceries online in New York City. I don't know if you could do that in other states, but the point is, when you trying to change your life, when you trying to do better, you're gonna figure out how to do better because we prioritize. When our women want to go to the club, they figure out who gonna watch that baby. They make it happen. When people want that new iPhone, they make it happen. They figure it out. Whether they gotta go steal, kill, rob, they figure it out. So come on, we just picking and choosing what we want to prioritize. The food we eat can either set up or diminish 3 generations down the line. That's a fact. I was talking to this woman one time. She's a vegan. She became vegan. We ain't even never got to meet. But we was kind of like talking and talking about courting and marriage and all of these things. Excuse me. And she told me this. She said any man who gonna get me pregnant and I'm gonna have a child by, he gotta go on a diet for at least 3 months. I respect it. She was like, any man who think he gonna get me pregnant, he gotta go on a diet for 3 months. Cause he gotta cleanse his body. I'm not trying to bring no baby with none of that stuff. Cause she was a vegan. So this is something that she used to say. She used to be like, he's gonna have to be on a diet. I respect it. See, she was thinking about her baby. She was thinking about the bigger picture, like this brother just said, the generations down the line, right? So that's. I said this too in another video. I said if the United States took the initiative to jail gangbangers and not let them come out and just give them some crazy ass time, it would deter a lot of people from joining gangs. All these little sweeps they be doing, if instead of giving that bullshit ass time, they was just giving out an asshole full of time, I guarantee you things would change. Yep. Yep, that's a fact. I said that to the people, but they want to be like, no, that's not right. Listen, if it was up to me, kill all gangbangers. All right, I don't care if I used to be one. Shit, it don't make no difference. If I would have got caught up in that moment at that time, then that would have been my fate. I say that too. Why let them come back out to the street? Some of these gangbangers, they don't care about the community. Most of them, they don't care about the community. They'll rob your grandma, your mama. They'll do whatever they need to do. Some of those MS-13 and 18th Street dudes, they charge businesses a tax. The neighborhoods that they control, they charge a tax. They charge a business tax to the people in the community. Can you imagine living in a community and the gang bangers is charging you tax money? Come on, man. That shit is foul. So why should they have rights? Why should we feel sorry for these people that are oppressing the working people that don't got shit to do with what's going on with the turf wars? That's crazy. And these people are scared because if they don't pay the tax, these people will vandalize, steal, fuck their business up, and even kill them. That's not right, man. That's not even fair. So why should we feel bad for these people? Why should they have rights? They shouldn't. They shouldn't, man. He said, what is the book about the president about Islam? I'm not sure. The meek will inherit the earth. Every good black person should know how to shoot a gun. That's a fact. I say that all the time. You got to go to the gun range. These white folks, they be taking their kids, man. They be taking their kids to the range. I went to Michigan probably like a few years ago, and they was not playing, man. They was not playing. They take these kids hunting. They teach them how to break apart guns, clean them. They be teaching them what we don't be teaching nobody nothing. But we talk about revolution and we ready, man. Stop playing. Now I don't know if he's a prophet, but I do have a book with Thomas Jefferson. Thomas is a book with Thomas Jefferson. Um, he he got a he had two Qur'ans. Hold on, I'm gonna go get it. Inshallah. I actually got two books. I got I got two books. What I was gonna say, hold on, let me see something real quick. I'm trying to see if I could change the camera. Can I change the camera? Yeah, I could change the camera. I got this one of the books. It's called Thomas Jefferson's Quran, Islam and the Founders. This is one of the books. Thomas Jefferson, he owned two Qurans. Some people even suggest that some of the principles written in the Declaration of Independence were like Islamic concepts. So I haven't read this book yet, but it was very interested. It caught my attention. And the other book I have is about Thomas. This one's about Thomas Jefferson. Notes on the State of Virginia. So this is a good book. Um, I read other books that had a lot of references from this book, so I went and purchased this book. And in this book, he like just breaks down a lot of stuff. He breaks down like he also admits that like the stuff that was happening here to black folks was bad, and that he feared for what was going to happen in the future to the country because of the stuff that they had undone. So he kind of like I'm not saying he wasn't a whatever person. I'm not saying he was a good person. I'm not saying he was a bad person. I'm just saying that like he was also realistic about what was being done here. Like he wasn't oblivious. Like there's some white people who can't acknowledge certain things, right? They can't acknowledge racism. They can't acknowledge that things were wrong. Like so, yeah. What's good? What's good? Yeah, I was just you're gonna have to rewatch it, bro, because I'm about to get up out of here. It's kind of late. Yo, I'm telling you, man. Some of these chicks, man, they don't want to breastfeed. They don't even care about their children. Honestly, they don't. They don't be thinking about their children, and they be so sad because it's like so selfish. Oh, excuse me. It's so selfish that think about it. Even some of these chicks, when a guy tell them, I don't even want to go into that, but I was gonna say, even with some of these chicks, I made a video talking about like when a guy tell you he doesn't want to take care of the kid, and you decide to have the child on your own because you feel like you're a strong black woman, you can't be thinking about that kid. You cannot possibly think that a one-parent household is going to produce, a stable child, emotionally, physically, and spiritual child. Like you can't possibly think that. So you're not thinking about your child when you make those impulsive decisions, right? But that's just a whole nother thing. But when it comes to breastfeeding, some of these chicks will be like, oh, no, that hurts. I don't want to do it. Because they're selfish. They're just thinking about themselves. It's other things you could do. You could pump. If the baby maybe bites your nipples, okay, maybe you could pump then. But they're so quick to give up on that because they're just so focused on me. Selfishness. They ain't thinking about the children. It's crazy. They are important. They're probably from the. So you got. Yeah, you kind of late, bro. But I was just talking about the spending budget that black folks got. I covered that black people make a lot of excuses. We blame white folks for everything, and we take no accountability for nothing. I played a video from Malcolm X from the 60s. In the 60s, the black spending power was $20 billion. And Malcolm X said, if you have the spending power of $20 billion, then you can't make no excuse as to why you don't have no job, why you don't have no industry, why you don't have no infrastructure. You can't sit around here and beg the white man for a job. If your community produces $20 billion in spending annually, this was in the 60s. He said, then you can't sit around and make an excuse as to why the white man is not giving you a job, because you should be creating your own job. So same thing applies today. Today, the spending power of black people is $1.6 trillion. That is the spending power of some small countries, right? Can you imagine that? $1.6 trillion, and it's projected to grow up to 1.8. Dr. Umar said this too. He said, we are a $2 trillion people. He said, but we spend billions of dollars on Jordan. We spend billions of dollars on liquor, right? There's a liquor store every 3 blocks in the hood, and we there all the time. And if we're not spending liquor at the liquor store, I mean, if we're not spending money at the liquor store, we spending money at the clubs, bottle sections, right? And you know it costs way more money in the club than at the liquor store. So we spending billions on Air Jordan because we feel like we got to cop the Jordans every week. Every time they come out, every month, we got to get the Jordans because everybody got to feel like we that person, right? Some people stand on long ass lines just to get Jordans. Long ass lines. People used to be getting robbed for their Jordans at one point, killed, crazy, right? Ignorant shit. We spent about $40 million, I think he said, $40 million in one day or in a few hours for the Popeyes chicken sandwich, right? Crazy, crazy numbers, bro. Our women spend $20 billion on cosmetics, hair, them stupid ass lashes, them pterodactyl nails, right? $20 billion. Lipstick. It's reported that the average woman consumes, I think, 1.5 gallons of lipstick a year. Makeup, all of these things. So, and then if we wanted to get into the iPhones, right? People chasing iPhones, they're buying phones that they can't afford, they put them on payment plans. People buy sneakers they can't afford, they put them on payment plans. People buy a whole bunch of shit they can't afford, put them on payment plans. This is bad debt, right? I cover good debt versus bad debt. Good debt is like purchasing the house, purchasing the business. Yeah, you got to pay money back. You got to pay for the rent. You got to pay for all of those things, but you're making money off of this. You know what I'm saying? The phone, if you're using your phone to make money, then your phone is a good investment. But a lot of people is not making money off their phone. They just chasing the phone just to have the phone and get the good camera and so people can say you the man. Some of us buy designer cars. We buy foreign cars, right? Luxury cars, just so people can say we riding clean. But man, them payments is killing us, right? Listen, one of my best friend, he bought a BMW. And he was like, bro, I'm selling this car. He said, bro, I can't keep up with this car, bro. He said, when it needs maintenance, I only could take it to the dealership. I can't take it to a regular mechanic. And they charge an arm and a leg. I had a friend who said they charge $200 off the gate to go to BMW. Off the gate, just to look at your car. It was $200. And then to run the maintenance and all of that, that was another fee. And then the parts, and they always going to tell you need a new part because they trying to make money. So we make that a poor investment in those cars too, because we want to ride with style. Then we want to buy Gucci, Louis, Fendi, Mike Amiri, whatever the dude name is, Christian Dior, whatever the rappers is wearing, we want to wear it too. So we spend our money on, we make stupid choices all the time with our money, what we spend our money on. So that's basically what I cover. I just cover our poor spending habits. But instead of us acknowledging that we have poor spending habits, we just gonna blame the white man for not educating us, even though we admit that the white man is not really our friend. He don't like us, and he has no business in trying to teach us how to be self-sufficient. Even though in the 60s we kind of like had it together, we was kind of like together. We had like the bus boycotts. We was putting our money together. We had businesses. Because we lived in our own communities. We was getting shit done. But you know, they killed the fight out of us. So now we just rather just play along, you know. Yeah, man. I got a whole library, man. I read. I try to feed your brain is like your second stomach, they say. You know, so if you feed your stomach poor things, if you malnourish your stomach, if you eating junk food, you're not really gonna have a lot of nutrients in your body. You're not absorbing a lot of good things. You're absorbing a lot of negative things. Your brain is the same way. Whatever you read, that's why I don't watch television. Whatever you read, whatever you put in your brain is what's gonna come out. So I tend to like stay away from people who are negative. I tend to stay away from, just watching TV, being distracted by that, and I spend my time reading. Yeah, man. You got to think. I think all the time. I also watch documentaries. I watch things from people like KRS-One. Yeah, also Waka Flocka got like some stuff on how to build wealth and credit and business credit and trust funds and LLCs. It's a lot of information out there, but it all depends on what we are willing to prioritize and look at. And I don't really subscribe to making an excuse, man. Like, G Herbo said this thing. He said he said it's not on you how you were born or how you was raised, but it's on you if you die broke. Like he's saying it's not your fault if you born broke, but it's on you if you die broke. You know what I'm saying? He's something to that extent. He said it's not on you if you raise poor. Like that's not your fault, but it's on you if you die broke. Meaning like history is history. The past is past. But every single day that goes on, we have the ability to change something. We got the ability to learn something, and some of us just don't want to learn. Yep. Breastfeeding increases IQ of the baby. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. We people. He said, "We a people with great pain. Champagne for the pain." Ha! It's a fact. It's a fact, bro. Look, I done made a lot of stupid decisions with money myself. I've been out there having fun, splurging. Here comes, here comes, here comes this dude. This is the type of people I be talking about. It's always, there's always a dude or a few people in the community who will say, "All black people." Who the fuck said all black people? Excuse my language. But it's always a black person like this. It's always black people that will deflect, that will push the blame somewhere else, that would do everything in the power, but take accountability. If it don't apply to you, it don't apply. Willie B, man. I don't understand why like women do this. I mostly hear this from women, not really men. But it's just like every time you say something, if it don't apply to you, it don't apply to you. Like, what the hell is the point of all black people don't spend it? Nobody cares. If you're a black person that don't spend your money in what we're saying, then it doesn't apply to you. There's no need to say all black people don't. We don't give a fuck about that. The problem is a lot of people in our community are spending their money in detrimental ways. Why can't we just sit there and focus on the negative? Why can't we sit there and focus on the negativity that is not allowing us to grow, that is not allowing us to be in a better position? Like, why would we focus on the sprinkle of positive black folks, right? that if anything, they move out the community anyway. They leave the hood. They forget about their family members back in the jungle, in the war-torn communities. Why would we focus on the small percentage of people when we have a big ass problem? Because you know what's funny? We never focus on the white people who are not racist. Why? Because we always focus on majority of white people that are racist, if that is even the case anyway, right? We always tend to focus. It's funny when it comes to majority, we'll focus on the majority of white people though who are racist, but we don't focus on the minority of white people who are not racist. And I don't even know if it's majority minority. I don't really know. But the point is, we pick and choose when we want to focus on the small things and when we want to focus on the large things. That's not right, bro. That's not right. Let's stop deflecting. So thank you, brother. Thank you for your words. Champagne for the pain. Yo, Adrian, you're a funny dude. Yo, but that's true. A lot of black people, they self-medicate. They smoke weed every day. You know how many people smoke weed every day? And they'll tell you, I need to smoke, homie. I gotta smoke. I just gotta have my weed. You try to talk to them about credit though. I mean, I don't need that. I gotta smoke. I gotta smoke. And you know what's so funny? Black people will rather go to the store. They'll get a milk on some credit. They'll get a few things from the store on some credit, but they don't even realize it's the same thing. If you get a credit card and you make your payments like you're supposed to, and you use it like how you're supposed to, it's the same thing like borrowing from the Aki. That's what a credit card is for. When you ain't got the cash, you spend the credit. But again, like I said, nothing is ever going to change if you make excuses like Willie B. Man. See, Willie B. Man was making excuses in my comment section. See, I don't make no excuses, man. I don't make no excuses. I remember when Elijah Muhammad, I wasn't around, but there's stories when Elijah Muhammad came with his message, right? When he came with his message, and he said, and he was talking this stuff to the black people, and he was saying about the black God and this and that and the third. It was people who was dope fiends, crack addicts, who were letting the drugs go like this to sell bean pies and all of those things. I don't tap dance. You tap dancing right now, Willie B. Man. You're a tap dancer. You probably get paid by the white man to tap dance. These are the people we don't listen to, y'all. See, Malcolm X said in the video. Remember, Malcolm X said in the video, we'd rather talk to the people in the street. Woo. Woo. You know, this is why the people, Malcolm X said, we talk to the people in the street. Because the people in the street are the people that usually are willing to fight. These are the people who, they ain't trying to go to your school and integrate into your job, into your corporate world, they want to go to your neighborhood. Nah, These are some of the people that have the pride. They're gonna figure it out. They're gonna hustle. They're gonna figure out a way. And I'm not saying hustle illegally, right? I'd rather a person go steal from the establishment somewhere, right? This is what they used to do. The Black Panther Party, they used to rob armored trucks, rob banks. Okay, they didn't rob the people. They will go rob banks. Sometimes they might have robbed drug dealers too. You know what I'm saying? But they'll go take from the establishment. They used to hijack churches that were controlled by the state. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the type of shit they used to do. Storm City Hall with guns. Police the police. These was real gangsters. We ain't gangsters. And then you got the coons that attend their universities. They want to integrate. They want to be just like the white man. They start changing the way they talk. They change the way they they enunciate words. They try to sound white. You notice that a lot of people that go to college, they start to change their voice and their tone of their speech. They look like fools. They look like idiots. They really do. It's not that they just learned a new vocabulary. I know plenty of brothers who have an extensive vocabulary who don't sound white. Okay? Y'all know what that white voice I'm talking about? Y'all know. Kind of like you, if you have a woman friend that works as a receptionist, you know what I'm talking about. They put on that white voice when they at work. It's a lot of black folks like that. It's a lot of black men like that too. They put on that white voice when they're around Dick, Harry, and Tom. Yeah, dude. Like, like the other day I went to the supermarket with my girl, and like, we seen these two big guys, and like, y'all know what I'm talking about. They put on that stupid voice. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It don't got nothing to do with learning new words and having an extensive vocabulary. They be trying to blend in. They trying to be white by proximity, but you'll never be white. Malcolm X told this dude when he went to Harvard. Malcolm X didn't go to school. All he did was learn the dictionary, right? He learned the dictionary. He learned the meaning of words, the etymology of the English language, and that made him a beast. Nobody could debate with that man. The man was such a beast that he got an honorary PhD from Harvard University. Look this shit up. He got an honorary PhD from Harvard University. Okay? I think Waka Flocka got an honorary master's or PhD. He got some type of degree like that too. But yeah, man, this brother was sharp. Malcolm X was sharp, man. He had to go. I don't tap dance. These brothers say I'm tap dancing. That's crazy. I don't tap dance, man. I don't kiss nobody ass. Shit, man. Shit. I could have been in high places, man, if I kissed ass. Definitely could have. Some people will tell you. Some people will vouch for me. I've been to places like the Harvard Club. I've been in a room with millionaires and billionaires, and I could have been the poster child for some organizations. I could have tap danced for real. I should have sold out. You know what I'm saying? I would have been in the man. Where would I be if I sold out? Where would I be? Sometimes I still think about it, right? Because let's just be real. The black community not gonna come together. I already came to the realization. You're gonna have to go alone. That's why I'm just looking for my tribe. Work with a small group of people. Y'all could get far. But as far as like the whole community, nah, bro. Too many people too far gone. So some days I think about it. Damn, where would I be if I sold out? I'd probably be in a good place, a nice, sweet neighborhood. I'm saying, doing my damn thing. Real talk. That's why I don't be mad at people when they sell out. I don't be mad. I mean, I'm gonna talk my shit, but I don't be mad. Cause I already know what it is, homie. But I got integrity. Hey, hey, hey. I'm getting ready to get up out of here, Ash. What's up, man? I've been here too long. Been here for an hour and 40 minutes. I'm tired. My back hurt. I know a lot of Muslims that don't take credit for religious reasons. I respect it. But you need good credit. Yeah, you need credit, man. You need credit. I mean, Muslims, see, some Muslims don't understand credit. You can still use credit. All you gotta do is pay your stuff on time. Damn, Ash. Damn. All right, bye. Damn. That's crazy. Damn. Get out of here. Sit down. But yeah, like you said, a lot of Muslims that don't take credit, you don't you can take so credit. See, people be assuming that if you have credit, they thinking about interest and all that, but that's not necessarily so. If you borrow money and you pay it in full, you won't have no interest to pay. And that's what Muslims are against. Interest, riba, right? But if you borrow the money and you pay a small portion, you're going to have interest. So that's the issue. The issue is the interest, right? The participation in interest. That's why sometimes, and like you said, sometimes even for bank loans, right? Like I don't, I'm pretty sure they established like a few Islamic banks. I'm not so sure, but I know like when people be trying to buy houses, it's the same thing because you got to take a bank loan, and Muslims are not supposed to deal with interest. So it gets a little tricky because when you borrow money from the banks, it's usually interest attached to it. So I don't know what's the process with the Islamic banks. I don't even know if we actually do have some in America. I'm not sure. I know at one point there was this bank, but I'm not sure how it operated. I don't know if the bank purchased, I don't even know if they had the money to just purchase the house from that, I don't know. I don't really know how. I wouldn't be able to tell you. But I know for a long time they were trying to establish like Islamic bankings here in America. I haven't really looked into it honestly, but it's crazy. It's just crazy, man. But what about the women? Ash, you still here? But yeah, man. But that's my spiel. My spiel is we ain't gonna go nowhere. We ain't gonna go nowhere until we take accountability. Um, and like I said, a lot of us not gonna go nowhere together. Nowhere. We got the crab in a bucket mentality. We be hating on each other. We don't even support each other. I can tell you right now, like I could post something. I could post something, and a lot of my homies they won't repost my stuff, but they'll repost some Drake shit though. They'll repost some gossip shit from the Shade Club. I mean Shade Club, the Shade Room. Like again, like we don't support each other. It don't hurt to share your man shit. It don't hurt to like it. It don't hurt to do certain things to try to get. Like think about this. Think about think about if I sold shirts. If I sold shirts for $10, I got like 19K, right? Followers or subscribers. Let's just say that's just $10. Let me not even say $10. But forget about the shirts. Let's just say I got 2,000 friends on Instagram and I post something. It don't hurt for people to share it. Like if, and I'm not saying the 2,000 friends that I might have really rock with me a certain way, but let's just say 1,000 other people I have on social media really rock with me. And think about if 1,000 people share one of my posts. Do you know how many people will get to see my post? Only if they thought like this is support. each one teach one, and let's help each other. Do you know what what that mean, man? It don't even got to do with money. Just sharing digital currency. People got a problem with just sharing your shit. Look at that. Simple. You know, one of my friends, y'all seen them come through. My son Willie. He always used to share my shit. Before I even got to the thousands of subscribers, I probably had like 50 subscribers at the time. But he used to always share my shit. He used to be like, bro, even if I don't agree with your shit, I'm gonna share it because I want to see you win. I want other people to see your stuff. I want to get it out there. So think about if a lot of us had that mindset. Think about it. Think about just if 100 people, just share my shit, 100 people, or share your shit, right? Even if they don't, if they don't buy your merchandise, let's say you're selling something, or let's just say they just shared your post. Just think about it. But we don't think like that. We don't think like that. We're in competition. I'm trying to make a YouTube channel too. I ain't about to be sharing his shit. Man, I'm trying to sell t-shirts too. I ain't about to be sharing their shit. I'm trying to do this too. I'm not trying to. We selfish, homie. We don't think in the communal way. We on some individualistic shit. I got it out the mud by myself. Nobody helped me. And that is so far from the truth. You know? So now as long as we have that mindset, we ain't gonna go nowhere. Yo, that's a fact. We in competition to be at the bottom. Yo, we can't look, as long as you fucked up just like I am, I'm cool. But you know what? I get it though. See, because it works both ways. I get why sometimes people be feeling like that. Because when people tend to make it to the top, they be talking a lot of shit and they start looking down on the people at the bottom. That's also a problem too. See my shirt? Free minds, free people. Gotta free the mind. Free mind, free people. And that's why we not free. Because a lot of us still thinking like slaves. That's why we not free. A lot of us are still thinking like slaves. A lot of us still thinking like slaves. Woo. Free mind, free people. Woo. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. It's that crack juice. You know, sugar got the same addiction and it releases the same amount of dopamine like cocaine. Did y'all know that? That's a fun fact. Did y'all know that? Sugar has the same effects like cocaine on the brain. Cocaine on the brain. Damn. Mm. That's crazy. Now, why would they put that on regular foods? Mm. Mm. Why would they put that on regular foods? Something that has like the cocaine effect. I don't get that. What I was saying? Yeah, the brother said we in competition to be at the bottom of the barrel. That's a fact. But like I said, is I could understand why people at the bottom be looking at the people at the top with some type of disdain. Because a lot of times the people at the top, when they get to where they're going, they're not humble. Not saying that they have to, but they start to look at the people at the bottom like they ain't shit. They start to talk shit about them. They start to not respect them in certain ways. So I could understand why it creates this mentality of like, when I see you ascending, I'm gonna make sure you don't get to the top. Because a lot of times those people at the bottom, they end up disdaining the people at the top because how they treat them and how they look at them and how they be shitting on them. So I think it creates this competition because of that. He said it's not the same wheat from the time of Jesus. Yeah, I didn't know wheat. Yeah, because I think wheat breaks down to sugar too. Um, yeah, man. A lot of people when they get to the top, they just be wilding. So people be having that problem. You get what I'm saying? So I get where they coming from in a way. It's almost like they anticipate when you get there, you're gonna shit on me, or you're gonna badmouth me, or you're gonna play me, or you're gonna do certain things. So it's like, nah, I ain't letting you get to the top. I ain't helping you either. But that's how we think. We want to share each other's stuff. We want to support each other, and then even without doing that, like I have more supporters of people I don't know. Like, you know how many people like I don't know, and people will be like supporting me and donating, sending money, or just doing the most. And the people that you expect to do that, the people that you grew up with, the people that's your friends, the people that's your so-called day ones, they don't even do that. They don't share, they don't support, they don't purchase nothing, they don't do nothing. I'm not saying they have to. I was just saying, like, yo, that shit is crazy sometimes. I'll be like, yo, strangers will support you quicker than people that you knew your life. It's very interesting. It's very, 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 very interesting. So, but yeah, sad thing, man. Sad thing that you see what goes on in the community, and I just be trying to like, we need to bring real men back. We need to bring brothers who are disciplined. And like I said, I don't be here on some high horse shit. I'm struggling with a lot of this shit that I'm sitting here talking to you about. But I wake up sometimes and I'll be like, yo, bro, you got to get your shit together, bro. You got to tighten up, homie. You got to tighten up. You got to tighten up. You got to be mindful with your money. Be mindful what you give your energy to. Read your Quran more. I said this before in the post. The further you get away from your Quran, the harder the harder the further I get away from my Quran, the more chaos my life falls into. I said that before. This is so true. He said you are most likely to make money with people you don't know than those you do. That should be crazy. And then sometimes when you try to make money with the people that you know for a long time, they become untrustworthy. Like they be trying to steal from you. They be trying to do a little sneaky shit. You ever notice when you try to sell something to a person you might know, they always want a discount? They always be like, come on, man, how long you know me, man? And it's like, what the fuck? They don't even be looking for a bargain. They don't be looking for like, excuse me. They don't be looking for I'm gonna buy 10 things and you throw me one for free. Like they don't be looking for a deal. They be looking for a straight up discount. One item. Oh, you selling it for 40? Yo, sell it to me for 15. Yo, or sell it to me for 20. Like, it'd be like, damn. It don't even be a deal. It don't even be like, yo, I'm gonna buy 5 of these things and yo, throw me one, throw me a little, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy though, man. It's crazy. But that's the mindset that we have. And what happens is then my computer about to die. That's how we move. That's how we be moving. But the reason why we don't change is because we blame somebody outside of ourselves. Let me ask you a question. You know why a lot of women don't change? You know why a lot of women, when it comes to relationships, they go from one relationship to the next relationship, and it's always the same story. The story is always, it was the man's fault. He was a narcissist. He was manipulative. He was toxic. It's always the same rhetoric. The rhetoric is always the same. You know why? Because they never take accountability for what they do. They never take accountability. They never look at themselves and say, you know what? It was my fault. I was vindictive. I was argumentative. I used to start shit for no reason. I was insecure. I had all these issues. They never say that. Oftentimes, the blame is always on the other guy. So you know what happens? They go on to the next relationship and they sabotage that relationship, and then they move on until they get it, until they run into somebody who is willing to take their shit. I'm telling you, bro. Should be crazy. Should be crazy. And what I be trying to tell y'all is it's hard for you to change. Allah says in the Quran, He said, you cannot change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. I'm telling you. So some of these folks think that their condition gonna change with reparations, or that their condition gonna change by them trying to convince the white man to change. Nah, you're not going to change your condition until you change what is in yourself. Allah says in the Quran, and Allah says the truth. You cannot change the conditions of a people until they change what is in themselves. So, and I wholeheartedly believe that when you change your thoughts, when you change your ideologies, you change your thought pattern, you change your heart, more importantly. Allah says in the Quran, in another verse, He said, it is not, He said, it is not the ears. But he said, it's not the mind who understands. But he said, I think, believes it's not the ears who hear. He said, it's not the eyes that go blind. It is the hearts. Right? And in another verse, he said, it is not the mind. He said, it's not the ears that hear, but it is the heart, right? He mentions the heart in a lot of things. And it's also, he gave a correlation of the understanding. It is the heart that understands. And a lot of people have a sick heart. Yo, I said that all the time. If white people were smart, right? If white people were smart, they would have been gave black people reparations. Honestly. You know why? Because if they gave black people reparations, all black people gonna do is give it right back. It's a fact. I tell people that shit all the time. White people give black people reparations today. You know what they're gonna do? Most black people gonna get that shit right back. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna go buy designer cars, designer clothes. A few people probably gonna invest. And even the people that might invest, they might make some dumbass investment. Like, they're gonna go to the strip clubs, casinos. Like, yo, I'm telling you right now, most black folks, they're gonna get that money right back. Like you said, they seen what we spent the pandemic. Everybody all of a sudden only ate seafood boils. A lot of people started eating seafood when the pandemic came. They wasn't eating no seafood before the pandemic. Come on, bro. A lot of people started. Look, I'm happy. I'm happy a lot of black people got to travel during the pandemic. They got to leave the state. They ain't never leave the state before. Some people got to leave the country. I'm so happy for them that they got to see new things. But people was taking flights like every week, son. Every other week, people were taking flights. Every other week, people were. I'm about to get up out of here, man. This is 2 hours. It's going on 2 hours. But this is just a prime example, man. People want spending habits. This whole conversation has been about poor spending habits. You can't make this shit up, homie. You can't make this shit up. That's what I said. If we got reparations, man, if your mind is not different, if you ain't changed the way you think, you giving that money right back. And that shit's not gonna do nothing for you. and you're gonna be back to square one, broke in the hood, with the rest of the folks in them. But let me get up out of here. My laptop is dying. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I appreciate the people who liked the video so it could circulate. I appreciate the people who was commenting, and I appreciate the people. My brother mentioned he caught my book earlier on, so I appreciate the people who purchased my book and keep supporting me. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay safe. Y'all be careful and y'all stay vigilant out there. Yeah, word, bro. I appreciate you, Adrian. Stay blessed. Brooklyn, stand up.